Good evening, and thank you for joining FTMIG Events. My name is Ashley West, and this evening I will be hosting Sam Lee, President, Director, and CEO of NorthIsle Copper Gold. Mr. Lee will be presenting a corporate update and overview, followed by a Q&A session, so please feel free to add your questions into the top right of your screen. Mr. Lee was appointed to the role of President and CEO of NorthIsle in October of 2020. Over the past 20 years, Mr. Lee has advised on some of the most prominent M&A, equity, and debt transactions in the international and Canadian global mining industry, totaling over $100 billion in value. During this period, he has worked in major resource markets, including Toronto, Sydney, and Vancouver, where he led various strategic initiatives for CIBC World Markets. Most recently, he was Managing Director and Head of CIBC's Vancouver Mining Group. Mr. Lee holds a Bachelor of Applied Science, Faculty of Engineering from the University of Toronto, was a graduate of the Lassonde Mineral Engineering Program, and is a CFA charter holder. On that note, Sam, I will pass the stage to you to take over from here.
Thanks very much, Ashley, and thank you everybody for joining our first ever town hall webcast. I think what we'll do today, because is a tremendous amount of diversity in attendees, ranging from shareholders, stakeholders, right holders, our First Nation partners. I'm going to try to keep the presentation reasonably short so we can allow some time for all of your questions. Obviously, don't feel shy. Please ask whatever you feel is necessary. As Ashley said, there is a comment box, and she'll try to get through them as quickly as possible once I'm done. So I think one of the big questions people are probably here on this call today to find out is, why have we performed so well? Why has NorthIsle Copper and Gold performed exceptionally well over the last year in an environment that has been pretty disparate as it relates to junior mining companies? Look, I mean, we're a company that is obviously focused on critical metals. So copper being the critical metal as it relates to electrification, which obviously leads to decarbonization. And we have a very large project in British Columbia that has both copper and gold. But the issue, I think, with copper is that everyone believes in the long-term proposition, even the medium-term proposition. There's even signs today that there's short-term disruption that's leading to inventory crunches and price appreciation. But I think for the most part, it is a very longer-term proposition. And I think the differentiation with us and our peer groups and pretty much anyone else in our space is that we do have this element of gold in our property, and that gives us access to what I like calling a critical currency, because it is a much obviously more of a currency effect. It's a store of value. It trades at premiums to its intrinsic value, and it's a very low cost of capital financing. And we have that in abundance in our property as well. And that's something that we progressed pretty quickly over the last little while, which I can go into greater detail. We are very well cashed up because we have very strong cornerstone shareholders that I can obviously detail through the presentation. But in environments where there is a little bit of hesitation and risk-off attitude, it really does make a huge impact for us to be able to capitalize our programs continuously and show that shareholder growth.